If you are a software developer or even a student, you might have written a lot of code, developed some application. Have you ever thought of deploying those applications on AWS or any other cloud platform? Learning AWS or any other cloud platform is a long process. You need to learn a lot of concepts, a lot of things. But what if I tell you, you can deploy an application on AWS just like how you upload an image on Facebook? Want to know how? Hey everyone, I'm Ramanuj, and in this video, I'm going to show you how can you deploy an application on AWS using AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Now, what is Elastic Beanstalk? Elastic Beanstalk is a platform as a service offered by AWS. Now, when we want to deploy an application on AWS or any other cloud platform, we have to manage a lot of things. We have to create servers, we have to install applications, install the runtimes. Elastic Beanstalk simplifies all the things and it allows the developer deploying application without worrying about the server or any other stuff. First of all, let's open our IDE and let's open an existing application. So here I'm having a Spring Boot application. If I expand this application, this is a very simple application wherein I'm having some RESTful web services which I can consume. Let's run this application on local. Okay, the application is started and we can check the port 5000. So let's go to our browser and let's try to browse localhost 5000. And also I'm using Swagger, so I'll just write the Swagger UI.html. So if we explore this, we'll find out that there are certain APIs. Let me add a new employee here by making a post request. So let's try it out and let's pass some value here. Let's pass the ID as 1, name as Harsh, email something, abc.com, and let's pass an address. Let's suppose it's Bangalore. Okay, so I'll execute it and let's see. Yes, it got added. We can verify through a GET request. We can make it GET request and we can check. Yes, it's working fine. Now we'll try to deploy the application on AWS. In order for us to deploy it, first we need to build that application. So I'll go to my IDE once again, and this time I'll build this application. Now, few things you have to remember before you build this application. First thing is your application must run on localhost 5000, right? So this is the first requirement. Make sure that your application is running on localhost 5000. And one more thing, one more changes that I've done here, which is not mandatory. In order for us to make it simple, I just mentioned one property final name as EMP app. Otherwise it will give a long name with a version and so on, right? I just want a very simple simplified name. Even if you don't do it, it's okay. Let's build this application. So how to build this application? We will open our command line in IntelliJ and we'll just run this command mvn package. Okay, so you can see our build is success. That means we'll get a jar file inside our target folder. Let's check it out. So you can see we got a jar file here, right? emp-app.jar file. So what we are going to do, we are going to deploy this on AWS. In order for us to deploy this, first of all, I'll go and open my AWS console. Let's go to my AWS management console. This is the home of my AWS management console, and it might look different for you depending on the services that you are using. So I'll directly go to Elastic Beanstalk. You can search here. If it doesn't appear here, no problem. You can search for Elastic Beanstalk, and if you can go to Elastic Beanstalk. So if you go to Elastic Beanstalk, you can start with create application. Click on create application, and there are two types of environment. For time being, I'll just use web server environment and application name. So I can just give EMP app. You can give any name, doesn't matter. And it will create an environment called EMP app ANV. Let's keep it as it is. We don't want to make any changes. We can provide our own domain here, or we can just keep it as it is. We will just keep it as it is. And then here is the option manage platform, right? And what type of application we are going to run. So I'm going to run a Java application. So I'll select Java. Then I have to select the Java version that I'm going to use. So I believe my application is using JDK 11, but I'll go with a JDK 17 because Java is always backward compatible. So we can use latest version. There is no problem. Other things, let's keep it as it is. And there are two options, like we can keep it sample application or we can upload our code. So initially I'm starting with sample application, and let's just select this option, single instance, which is free tier eligible. Let's go to next. So we can either create a new service role or we can use an existing service role. So I'm going to create a new service role because for the first time when you are going to do this, you might not get this service role. Let's click on next, and I'm not selecting any EC2 pair as well. Now the next thing, VPC. Let's select the VPC. I'm going to select the default VPC, and then I'll select the availability zone, right? So also make sure to activate this public IP address. So I'll activate this public IP address, and I can select all the availability zone. So right now I'm not choosing any database. This is a simple application. It's using an in-memory database, and all the other things I'll just keep it as it is, and I'll click on next. Again, all the things here also, I'm not gonna make any changes over here. I'll just keep it as it is, and I'll just click on next. Here I can keep it either enhanced or basic, doesn't matter. If I select basic, so make sure to select this also, deactivate as well. I mean, these settings you can keep it as it is. And next, I'll just keep it as it is, and I'll click on next. So everything is fine. I'll just click on submit. So once we submit, we'll be able to see that the environment building is started. We can check out the events. It will take some time, typically 4 to 5 minutes it will take. So we can wait for it. So we can see that our application is up and running now. So we can go to this link. We can just click here, and this will open that application. So this is the sample application which is running right now. So we are going to deploy our application, that is the employee app jar file that we have created. So in order to do this, it's quite simple. We just need to click on upload and deploy. So let's click on upload and deploy, and let's choose the file. We'll go to the project directory, target folder, and here we'll find that emp-app.jar file. So we'll just select this, click on open, and we can give some version level, or we can just keep it as it is, and we can click on deploy. So once again, it will take some time, around 4 to 5 minutes, to make the environment ready with this application. We can wait for it. So after waiting for some time, our application is up and running. Let's check it out. I'll go to the same link and I'll just refresh it. And right now you can see a white level error page. That's fine. After that, we will just write /swagger -ui.html. Hit enter. And you will be able to see the Swagger screen, just like the one which we were able to see here. Okay, so here also we can try to post a new employee and see if everything is working or not. So we'll just click on try it out, and we'll go for ID. Let's suppose this time I'll give 101, name is Rohit, and here I'll just write Rohit@yahoo.com, and lastly address, I'll just keep it as Delhi. Okay, that's cool, and I'll just execute it, and let's see what happens. You can see it got stored. We can also check for a GET request and see all the employees that are stored right now. So you can see if we execute it, and we'll be able to see that we have saved Rohit right now, and we are able to explode it. Now you might be thinking, what about Harsh that we have saved earlier? Well, Harsh was saved on my local machine, right? That has no relation with the AWS one which I'm doing. So currently my application is live on AWS. Anybody would be able to access, just that they need this link. So that's all. That's how you deploy your application on AWS. In the next video, I'll show you how to deploy an application along with the database on AWS. Thank you so much for watching.